Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadidamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Namaste and welcome. I'm Alexandra Savithri, Director of the Vedic Healing Center and the American Reiki Academy. I'm a Reiki master, Vedic healing master, and spiritual life coach who's been involved in spiritual self-development for many years. I've also had the wonderful good fortune of leading groups on pilgrimages to India, where I studied with gurus and very beautiful teachers. In this show, we cover topics related to spiritual self-development. We may touch upon metaphysics, Reiki, Vedic healing, feng shui, based upon my studies and practice in these disciplines. The aim of these shows is to help you create a successful spiritual practice that enhances your happiness, well-being, and productivity in the world, so you may become the best version of you. Welcome to today's episode, and the title of the episode is Start Your Sadhana at the Beginning with Om. In this podcast, we talk a lot about this daily spiritual practice, which is called sadhana in Sanskrit. And many times when people start out, and even when we are advanced in the practice, we wonder, we have the issue and the small problem of what to do, how to create and structure this process that we're going to do ideally several times a day, and that practice is going to carry us through our day. The energies that we've generated will carry us throughout the day. So the obstacle becomes, how do we structure this? The structure is important. Not that it needs to be rigorous, but the structure is important because it gives you a format for what you are doing, and it gives you guidance and direction. And so today I thought we would explore something that we all should be doing at the beginning of the practice, which is identifying with that very small word that carries immense value and layers of meaning and tremendous benefits in our lives, and that word is Om. So today I'd like to discuss briefly about the Om, what it is, and then how to use it in your practice, and also the benefits of it. So we will start with Om. O-M is how we see it written in English, although it's also written A-U-M, and I will talk about that in a minute. But Om, whichever way you write it, is considered a sacred symbol. It is a vibration used at the beginning, middle, and end of chanting, but always at the beginning. It is referred to as the Om, the Onkara, also referred to as Pranava, which means primordial sound. So the Om is thought to be, or regarded as, the original sound of the universe. It is the sound of creation. It is a divine word, a mystical sound vibration. All of these mantras are mystical and magical, and they're there for a reason. They are not just haphazard letters that have been casually put together. They have been passed down through a lineage of wise teachers, swamis, saints, rishis. These were beings who devoted their time on the earth to inner seeking. And so these mantras and these sound vibrations came to them in meditation. And they have been passed down to us from thousands of years and recorded in spiritual texts in India. In fact, the Om is written about in the Upanishads, and there's a very beautiful saying that I read from the Upanishads. It is, "The one who knows that syllable, whatsoever he desires is his." That syllable is Om. The one who knows that syllable, whatsoever he desires is his. So the Om is comprised of 3 energies, and these energies have, as all of these teachings, really quite immense layers of meaning. So I will give you just a few of those points today before we get into the benefits of chanting and how to chant. AUM, so we have those 3 sound vibrations. They represent creation, sustenance, and destruction. This is the Hindu Trinity, which we have spoken about in past episodes and in the classes, the Vedic healing classes. We talk about this pattern. It's not really religious in any way. So when I studied with Guruji, he was very clear to teach that the Vedic healing principles are spiritual in nature. When applied, they can make a Christian a better Christian, a Hindu a better Hindu, a Buddhist a better Buddhist. These are beautiful techniques in Vedic healing, of meditation, of going within, of chanting, of working with breathing, of working with visualization, to turn our energies within so that we may realize our true purpose and our true inner space that is often neglected. What I mean by that is we come into the body and we are thrust into this world, and we have activity to do in the material world that we cannot retreat from. But this activity detracts us from the inner space. And so it is up to each of us to find that inner space. And we find it, of course, in different ways, in different paths, and through different religious practices. But all of us, each of us, must eventually return to that inner space, because we know, of course, the body is going to get old, and at some point we will have moved beyond this material world. So this Trinity energy is not religious in nature. It is simply an energetic pattern that everything goes through. So, for instance, the day is born in the morning, it's created, it lives in the afternoon, and then it dies down in the evening. So the energies are different at different times of the day, and we can feel that. This podcast was created with me taking notes and thinking about what I wanted to talk about, and now it is living in the doing of it, and hopefully in your listening to it. And then when it is finished, that will be the end of it. So all of the projects in our lives, they're created, they live, they die. And then we go on to the next project. So it's simply a pattern of the movement of energy. And the Om represents this pattern. In Hinduism, of course, creation, sustenance, and destruction are also depicted by energetic deities. So Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. And this Om pattern of three energies also exists in that the sound vibration is formed in the back of the throat, the ah sound, the oo in the middle of the mouth, and then the sound when the lips come together. There's also a movement from the base chakra up into the middle portion of the body, and then finally up into the third eye and the crown as the sound moves up. So the Om is also representative of different states of the mind. This is depicted in, if you've ever seen the Om written, it looks kind of like to a Westerner, it looks like a 3, a kind of curvy 3 with a little line going off the bottom and then a semicircle and a dot. And these states are our waking state. So this is one state in which we are all aware, right? We are awake. Our dreaming state, that's another state of existence where the mind goes when we're dreaming. And then we have this deep dreamless state, which is fascinating. And then we have the semicircle in the Om when it's written, and that semicircle represents Maya or illusion, basically telling us these three states are all illusion. They are not really the point of existence. They prevent us from reaching the Turiya, the dot at the top of the Om, and that is pure consciousness. So we think that the waking, dreaming, and deep dreamless states are real. Certainly we can experience them, but the real state, that is who we are, is beyond all of those states of existence, and that is our pure consciousness. The Om also represents 3 gunas or qualities. In Sanskrit they are sattva, which means harmony, rajas, which is movement, and tamas, which is inertia. They are also 3 stages of the self: the past, the present, the future. The Om is a symbol ultimately for realizing the self. It also depicts Ganesha. So if you've ever seen the Om written and it looks like the head of Lord Ganesha, it's not your mind playing with you. It is supposed to look like Ganesha, which is fascinating. And Ganesh is, of course, the remover of obstacles, and he helps us with new beginnings. So we always chant to Ganesh at the beginning of an invocation. So when you chant the Om, you are also invoking Ganesha. So let's get into a little bit about the benefits of Om, and then we'll talk about chanting it. all of the theory is good, but we have to chant it. So the practice is what's going to bring results, but it's of course always important to understand what we are doing. It's going to give more value to the process. So let us get into some of the benefits of chanting Om. It is the beginning and culmination of all. One of the great benefits is it opens the throat chakra. So we are here on this earth to express ourselves, and we do that through nonverbal communication, through our actions, through the way we look at people, and also through what we express in our speech. There are many ways to communicate, and speech is one of them. So the chanting of a mantra opens the throat chakra, and it ultimately makes the words that we speak kinder, more loving, more gentle, more consciously expressed. I remember once Guruji was teaching an elaborate technique, and it was involving a yantra, and there were many steps, and I was furiously writing notes. At that time, we actually didn't have cell phones, so I don't think I wasn't recording him. I was just taking notes. And then at the end of this long explanation, he looked at me and laughed, and he said, "But the Vedas also say, or if you want, you may just chant Om." So I laughed also, but you might have a tendency to then think, well, why should I do the long technique? But we do the long technique because it builds energy in the body, and it has its benefits and its place also. However, the point was that you can get to a place where just the chanting of the Om can bring you the energy that you need. The Om removes negativity. It removes fear, worry, upset, self-doubt. Isn't this wonderful? The chanting of the Om can remove all the negative qualities of the mind that we really aspire to moving beyond, because it's these qualities that can debilitate us. There's the saying that we are our own worst enemies, and this is true because we are always doing battle with our inner states. We think the battles are outside of ourselves. However, really the true battle is what is being fought within. And sometimes we are fighting with our own thought forms. So the Om also puts us in present time. This is also amazing because in present time, we focus, and through that focusing, we can accomplish what we are here to do. If our mind is scattered, if it's running to the past or to the future or just all over the place, we cannot garner the power that we need. And so chanting in general will put us in present time. Meditation will put us in present time. And simply the chanting of the Om is a beautiful way to get there. Imagine also what extended mantra chanting can do. So we're starting with this small word that has layers of meaning and depths of power. However, the other mantras come out of the Om vibration, so they are extended forms of that sacred sound. I'm thinking about a place in India, at the tip of India, called Kanyakumari, and it's a place where 3 oceans meet, and there is a famous spot there called the Vivekananda Rock Memorial. Swami Vivekananda was a Hindu monk who came here to the US in 1893 to the Parliament of Religions, where he was to deliver a talk. He was basically bringing Vedanta and the science of yoga and Hinduism to the world for the first time. So he traveled here and had this very grand mission to convey, to carry, and that he was going to express. And before he left, he meditated in a sacred spot where these 3 oceans meet for inspiration as he was going to cross these oceans and come to the West. And there is a spot there now that commemorates his experience there, and it's called the Vivekananda Rock Memorial. So they have constructed, it's a beautiful spot, and there is a small temple, and there's a bookstore now with information about Swami Vivekananda and his gurus and his journey. But at the Rock Memorial, there is a spot for meditation, which is an underground spot. They could call it a meditation cave, although it doesn't feel like necessarily a cave in that it is made into a beautiful room. There's a marble floor, and you are underground, but it's not rustic when I say a cave. However, when you go to the Rock Memorial, there are many tourists mostly from India, who travel there on pilgrimage. Sometimes you'll see foreigners there, but it's mostly Indians who come to this tip of India in the south, because it is a sacred spot. And outside, you take a ferry to get to this point. So there's a lot of commotion, lots of people talking and laughing and taking photographs. And then you go into this meditation cave, the underneath. And it is very quiet, which is amazing, because it is the energy of the space that calms down the activity of the people. You can't go in there and talk. It doesn't encourage talking. And what do they have there? They have a recording of the Om playing over and over again. So even if you are not a meditator, you will find peace there. If you are a meditator, if you do practice, you will derive great peace there. It is, the energies are so sensitive and pristine and beautiful, and it is very easy to sit there for a long time. But it is the Om playing over and over again that influences that space. Remember, it is said that even if a mantra falls upon your ears, you derive benefit. So that sound of the Oms is benefiting all the people who hear it. It's influencing the space. It's influencing the immediate energies outside of the space. And this is how sound vibration works and sacred sound works. Sacred sound could be prayer also, anywhere that people are praying a lot. Though those energies are moving energy in the atmosphere. So they are influencing that's immediate space. They're influencing the people chanting or praying, and then that energy is radiating out into the world. So let us get into how to chant, and I'd like to give you a couple different suggestions. The first suggestion is that you sit comfortably. I sit on a meditation cushion. If you are not comfortable sitting on the floor, on a cushion, you can sit in a chair, but the spine should be straight so that the energy can flow nicely. The energy flows when you are in sadhana. The energy moves from the base chakras up into the torso and up into the upper chakras. It's the movement of the kundalini energy, actually. So you want the spine to be straight as possible. And the meditation cushion is advantageous because it lifts the hips off of the ground and it puts you in a position where it relieves pressure in your back and kind of encourages you to be in an upright position that is comfortable. It mimics the natural curvature of the spine. So if you find this comfortable, then please use the meditation cushion. If you feel more comfortable sitting in a chair, that is also fine. Ideally, when you practice your yoga asanas, your body is going to get more limber, more flexible over time. And so sitting on the meditation cushion will indeed feel comfortable. And you will notice your body changing as you do your asanas, just like you notice your being changing when you do your asanas, when you do your meditation, when you do your chanting, when you do your spiritual practice. You will notice yourself changing on many levels. So when we're getting ready to chant, a few other things I'll suggest aside from sitting straight and taking a deep breath beforehand. I'd like to suggest that you find your key, find the notes or the note that is comfortable for your natural expression of this Om. You won't know until you chant it, and you'll say, oh, that doesn't feel comfortable for my voice. That's too high, or that's too low. So you have to just kind of experiment with it. Another thing I might suggest is that you chant this Om, not just once, but you're going to do it ideally in a sequence, so a series of Oms. 21 Oms is wonderful. You could start just with 3 Oms. You could record yourself chanting Om, and you could listen to that every day and chant along with it, or you could find a recording that you like at Sri Satya Sai Baba's ashram in India. The ashram wakes up with the chanting of Oms. It's a wonderful way to start the day. So we take a deep breath in, and you will either hear the Om sounding like those 3 vibrations that we talked about at the beginning of this podcast. So you may hear the ah, the oo, the but in the end, it sounds like Om. It sounds, when it's all together, it just sounds like OM. You're not hearing ah, oo, So it's all pulled together or melted together to form this beautiful sound vibration. And also, when you chant, be really present with the chanting. You really can't help but be present because the chanting is going to encourage you to focus on it, to be one with the sound vibration. But at the same time, I'd like to suggest that you consciously put yourself into that relationship with the chant. The chant is supporting you. The chant is supporting you as a friend, as a vehicle, as a lifeline to the communion with the divine. And so we honor it by being really present with it. Nothing else matters in that moment. Just you and the sound vibration that you are generating from your being. At different times of the day, you will chant differently because the energy, again, changes throughout the day. So the morning hours feel different from the afternoon, feel different from the evening, and therefore you will notice that your voice even sounds different. Remember, in the early morning hours, there is a sacredness and a divine presence that you can feel in that glorious time of Brahma Muhurta. This is the time, an hour and 36 minutes before sunrise, and you will feel the mysticism, the sublime and graceful and gentle energies at that time. So your chanting will naturally fall into that energy. It can't but do that. It would be very hard to be awake at that hour and generate a lot of noise. It's just not natural. So your chanting will be very peaceful, very present, very magical at that time. Okay, so in terms of the actual chanting, we take a deep breath in, and then we're going to fill the being with that Om vibration. And after the Om is that silence. I think I have said this before in some of the podcasts. That silence at the end is where all of the curative powers, so the word is curative, all the medicinal workings of that sound vibration are entering into your energy field. So you chant and you let the energy be and you sit with the space so that that vibration can do its work. The chanting is medicine for your being. It's medicine for your household. It's medicine for your home. Your home holds energy, and the energy that you create in that home is what will be there. It's what it is holding. So create well, create consciously, create with awareness. This home that you live in is your temple or your church, and so you are creating a magical force field in that space that's going to help animate all of your projects and bring them forth into the world. So your Om can be chant it quietly or chant it a little more strongly. I'm going to chant a couple times here, and let's just listen to the sound of Om. Or maybe your Om sounds like this. In that one, I kind of slid up to the note. In these moments of chanting, nothing matters except for the vibration of Om that you are generating from your being. The Om is the beginning, the middle, and the end of all. So enjoy this Om chanting, experiment with it, and use it as a gentle way to move into your practice in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening before you retire. It's a beautiful practice, and it's a simple practice. But again, simple but profound. Simple in its application, profound in the results it can deliver to you. It will help you go into the deeper states of meditation. It will help you go into the more extended mantras that we do. It will help you start your day with peace. It will help set the mood for your household. It will help you and your speech. Think again about how unconsciously sometimes we speak to one another. If you are spending a great degree of your day in working with sacred sound, then the words that come forth from your mouth will be more consciously chosen, and they will be of a higher nature. And this is how the mantras work. This is one of the beautiful, beautiful benefits of the mantras. They influence your speech, and they, of course, change your energy field as well. So I hope you have enjoyed this. Please feel free to reach out to me at reikiacademy.org. It's REIKI academy.org, where the Vedic healing teachings are. Please let me know if you are enjoying these and what you would like to hear more of in these podcasts. I will be very happy to share with you more of the beautiful practice of sadhana, of going within, of generating awareness, of moving into an internal state. And again, that internal state is going to influence everything we produce in the world. So we are going within not to escape from the world, but to better ourselves as beings so that when we move into the world, we can be more loving, more peaceful, more aware, more powerful, more focused, more balanced, more calm, and we can handle all of life's challenges in a better way, from a higher perspective, from a more balanced state. The world is full of turmoil. It is full of problems and challenges, and we need you, we need each of us to start or continue the generation of peace within, and this comes through this daily practice. If you practice once a week, that will help you. But if you are practicing every single day, imagine the effects on your being, on your energy field, on what you create. It's just like if you're practicing a musical instrument. For instance, someone who is a violinist and aspires to playing in a world-class orchestra does not practice once a week or twice a week. Instead, she is practicing many, many hours a day so that she may qualify to be in that orchestra. Similarly, we are practicing with this sadhana, with this spiritual path we are on. We are practicing. Why? Are we trying to qualify as spiritual beings? In one sense, I might suggest that, yes, we are. We are trying to go back to source. It's not that we are not spiritual beings. We are spiritual beings having human experiences. However, we have forgotten on some level our own divinity, our own light. If we remember who we are, we will not act in false, negative ways that do not serve humanity, that do not serve one another, that do not serve ourselves. So this practice is to return us to our innate states of awareness, of light, of love, of peace, of kindness. So it is very important that each of us works at this practice and works on a daily basis. In subsequent podcasts, I will talk about how we can fit this in, how we've established that it is important, but how do you fit this in on a level in which it is really going to influence your being? So again, the violinist is not practicing just once a week. And the true spiritual seeker is not taking a yoga class once or twice a week and doing a little meditation. He or she is working at this on a daily basis. And it is work, but it is work that is enjoyable. It is work that is fruitful, that pays off. It is work that gives us benefits immediately, yes, but long-term even more. Again, the violinist, she gets some immediate benefit when she first starts to work with the teacher. And then the more she practices over and over and over and over again, the more adept she becomes. So it's the same with this practice. We're going to do it over and over and over again. And we'll do different techniques, and we'll find what works for us and what really creates change and bliss and peace in the energy field. And then we'll do more of it. And then, as well, we will share those energies with others. First of all, there won't be any way we cannot share them, because they will have influenced our beings so much that the energies will radiate from us. We are becoming these energies. We are merging with, and I use that word a lot, that verb, we merge with the sacred sound. That's one of the reasons we chant, is to become the mantra, to become the energy we're trying to invoke. And we become it through practicing it. So I hope you will try some Om chanting, incorporate it into your practice, and see what benefits it brings you. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Om Sai Ram. Jai Guruji. Hare Krishna. Om Amriteshwariye Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya.